In today's video, how many carbs is too few? Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. In today's video, well, I'm gonna take it a little bit differently. I've recently been moving offices quite a bit, and so you've probably noticed a change of scenery. So today's video, I'm just gonna sit down and explain this one. So today's question comes from right here on my Instagram direct message. Now, if you'd like to send me a question, please understand I do get a lot of questions and I love them and I go through them, but a lot of them are repeat questions. For example, I got a question today about a video I did yesterday. And if you just go back to my previous videos, well, hey, if you type in the word Paul Ravella and how many carbs, or Paul Ravella and how to lose fat, or Paul Ravella and how to reverse diet, you're gonna find some videos because I got over 1,000 now. I love to refresh the information as it becomes kind of necessary, but don't be afraid to look it up. And maybe in the future I'll have a better organizational system for you guys. But today's video, it's just that. It's how many carbs is too few. And if you like this type of information around a coach's perspective on how to get the most out of your physique, hit subscribe. It's what I love to do here. So let me read today's question. And what I love to do is read it so that you guys understand kind of where I'm coming from. Then we're going to discuss it. I have learned so much from your content. I have a question. How much is too low carbs? My trainer gave me macros that consist of 180 protein, 25 grams of carbs, and 80 grams of fat. I'm having a lot of difficulty sticking to it because I go over it. I'm 5'3", 170 pounds, and a female. And so first things first, if you hire a trainer and you don't trust their advice, there's a problem. So you need to reach out to your trainer and ask them, why are my carbs so low? Or why did you put my protein where it is? Where did you come up with these numbers? Because the answer to this question, how many carbs is too low? Well, this could be the right amount of carbs if the goal is getting into ketosis. So our body operates on two different fuel systems, okay? If you're eating carbohydrates and you're a carbohydrate-based eater, and as we should be, we burn carbohydrates for fuel, well, then you're using glycogen. However, if you are a high fat content eater, then you will switch fuel systems if you are completely depleted of glycogen, and your body will start burning ketones, and this is often referred to as ketosis, and you heard the keto diet. But what a lot of people don't realize is that a keto diet is not low carb, it's actually high fat. In fact, nutritional ketosis, defined by my friend Dr. Dominic D'Agostino, who I've done some videos with, seen many of his lectures, is basically 75 to 80% of your total calories coming from fats. Now, that can shift as you become keto adapted, and I understand there's many different forms of ketosis, but understanding that it's not just low carb, right? It's essentially a way of making your body burn ketones, and whatever that looks like for the individual, but it wouldn't be this high in protein, generally speaking, okay? So what I see here is the issue is not that you're on 25 grams of carbs, because that might be right, but that you don't understand what your goal is with your trainer. I think 180 grams of protein is overkill, especially if you're 170 pounds and you want to get down some. I generally set the protein for my clients at about their goal weight. So let's just guess and say your goal weight is 130. That's 50 grams of protein that you're eating. That's 200 calories that you could then apply to, say, your carbohydrates, bringing your carbohydrates up to 75 grams, giving you more energy to train. Now, there are some benefits to carbohydrate-based dieting, and it's a debate, no doubt, and there are, sides to both sides of the story. But as someone who's coached quite a few people that have tried out ketogenic diets, I will say this, there is a performance variable. There is a decrease in muscle size because glycogen is stored in our muscle cells and used as fuel. Now, the longer you enter a ketogenic diet, perhaps there is some positive adaptations that allow you to be a better low-carb dieter who performs. But carbohydrates are not the enemy. You see, it doesn't matter what diet you take. It doesn't matter your philosophy. What matters is that you're creating a caloric deficit and that you're able to be consistent. And you said something very magical here. You said you haven't been able to stick to it. So if you're not able to stick to a diet, what good is it, right? Because it's just a theory at that point. You need to find something that allows you to be consistent and sustainable and something that fits your lifestyle. The people that I know that enjoy ketogenic dieting, they enjoy the benefits of that. But the people that enjoy carbohydrates, they can get great results. and they don't have to restrict carbohydrates. They can be social. They can go out and have food with friends and not have to worry about restricting carbohydrates. So ketogenic dieting is a lifestyle that is not easy for everyone to kind of undertake. While there may certainly be benefits, I don't know if that's your trainer's goal. I have found that there is a severe risk of performance loss in the gym for those that enter a really low carb approach to dieting. And the danger here is that you're not actually really eating ketogenic ratios. You're just eating low carb. So you might just start to have headaches and feel bad because you can get some gluconeogenesis from the high protein that you're eating that might prevent you from actually being in ketosis. So how many carbs is too low? You know, as someone who coaches a lot of performance athletes, there is a number that I really don't like to go too far below. I won't really go below 60, 50, maybe 70 carbs per day. Instead, what I like to do is increase our activity. That way we can keep the diet and keep the calories and keep the performance going, but I'll switch to some low intensity steady state that does not burn glycogen, okay? Low intensity steady state, because of the nature of the cardio, it burns fat as its fuel source primarily. And so if you're doing things that are high intensity, like resistance training or sprints or anything like this, it's gonna be more glycolytic, burning more glycogen. So if you don't have a lot of glycogen and you're trying to do these things, performance will suffer. However, low intensity exercise is gonna really be just fine, even on a lower carbohydrate based approach. But I don't like my bodybuilders, my muscle building athletes to be super low carb. You're gonna struggle to get pumps, you're gonna struggle to hit PRs, potentially, again, and I'm sure there are some proponents of ketogenic lifestyle that will say that they've had great results, and no doubt. But in my experience, what I've seen hasn't been the case, okay? So how many carbs is too low? Really, that comes down to your goals and your philosophy. I would say if you're under 60 or 70 carbs a day, it might be worth just switching to some ketogenic numbers. So what would your numbers look like if you were to actually go into ketosis? Well, if we're talking about where you're at now, your fat's probably gonna be over 100 grams a day and your protein's gonna be under 100 grams a day, right? And then your carbs would probably be right around where they're at. But that's a change. It's tough to get 100 grams of fat a day. You start to eat some pretty weird foods, okay? I've seen Dom eat an entire stick of butter in his coffee. I've seen him eat bacon, sardines. So again, when you start to think of a diet as primarily fat, it really changes the way you consume things, okay? And the jury is still out on ketogenic dieting for a long-term lifestyle. There are definitely some health benefits for those with some health and metabolic issues, but we're still learning about it. So hopefully you can see this video, go talk to your trainer, and start to get some answers, because you have a lot of questions and they're good questions, and this is why you hire the trainer. And if you don't trust the answers that you're getting, then perhaps it's time to reach out to somebody else, set up a phone call, and talk to someone, okay? All right, guys, hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.